Hey everyone, so in today's video, I am sharing with you all my like bouncy, volumized, Amanda, are we really doing this? I'm sharing with you all my bouncy, voluminous, a touch curlier kind of blowout. This is the blowout that I like to give myself when I blow dry my hair. I tend to wash my hair about twice a week. And this is the blowout that I will give myself about once a week. The other time is kind of just like up in the air what I'm gonna do. You guys have been asking for this video for a long time. I'm here to finally share with you guys all of my techniques, all of the products that I use. I will be using my Dyson Airwrap, which is a product that I have loved since I bought it. I'm using it for all of 2022 and I just can't get enough. It really has changed the way I do my hair. I actually find it to be quite easy to use this. Like once you get the hang of it, there's that little bit of learning curve, but for me on the other side, at least with, you know, my hair, how long it is, it really makes, like, it cuts down so much time for me. And quite honestly, it makes doing my hair way more approachable than it would have been before. I hope that you guys enjoy the video. Again, I'll leave all of the products down below for you guys and let's just jump in. Okay, everyone, it's very weird to be so far back, so I apologize if the framing looks kind of strange. But first of all, I am going to be using the Dyson Airwrap today. If you guys don't know, I am a fan of the Dyson Airwrap, and personally for me, I am someone that likes something very easy when it comes to my hair. I really didn't style my hair most of my life. I gotta say, like, I would do the straightening thing in like 8th grade and like fry my hair, but as far as blow drying every day, doing a curling iron, all of that, I never really did it. I would just let my hair air dry. And once I discovered the Dyson Airwrap, I was immediately interested. Specifically, I was interested in the Airwrap, not because of this very hairy round brush attachment, but I was actually interested in the curling attachment. And the reason why is that I actually experienced some stress-related hair loss in 2020. I was really interested in being able to style my hair without having to over brush it. And really, you know, when you are using so many brushes and so many steps, it can definitely lead to excess shedding. So that's the reason that I was specifically interested in the Dyson Airwrap. Now here we have the attachment that I would typically use to both blow dry and style my hair, which is the long barrel. I have longer hair, so I did invest in the longer barrels, but with the new Dyson Airwrap, you don't have to purchase the new ones. They come with it. Honestly, I think the new Dyson Airwrap is definitely improved. You no longer have to switch out to create a different direction of curl like you do with the original, which I think is great. You just have to kind of like flick a switch. I'm honestly really excited by the new Airwrap. I would love to be able to try that one and compare it to this one. It is what it is. But okay, so number one, I have already washed my hair and I use a hair towel. Actually, do I have my hair towel in here? I don't, but I do use aqueous hair towels. Sometimes I'll use the turban, but really I never like put my hair up. I just find that's kind of heavy and uncomfortable, but I will always use a microfiber or hair towel. As far as shampoo and conditioner, I have been using the Amika The Cure line. So I have the Bond Repair shampoo as well as the conditioner. You can see I still have a good bit, actually, I don't know if you can actually see that. I have a good bit of the shampoo left, as it always happens, and I'm completely out of the conditioner as of today. Actually, I had to do like the, you know, you screw off the top, put it under the nozzle and like get as much water in and shake it up as possible. And then, you know, when I saw that I was kind of out of conditioner, I was like, Amanda, are you sure you want to do this video today? I've been procrastinating on this freaking video for a while. I was like, no, it's not a sign to procrastinate. It's not a sign. And then I walked out of the shower and I still had this glob of conditioner right here. I was like, this video better go smoothly. So far, so good. And the next item I will put in is a heat protectant. And this is actually a heat protectant and just a general leave-in treatment. So this is the Redken Acidic Perfecting Concentrate. And I personally find that this one has worked really well for me. I add in about a quarter size because I don't know if you can tell, I might have to even change the framing up again so you can see the entirety of my hair. This is the reason I was procrastinating this video is I don't really know how to frame everything quite right because my hair is quite long. All right, hopefully that is a little bit better. So yeah, I will take it all over my hair, and you can see because it took me a while to do my makeup, my hair is damp. So I don't even really need to use the blow dryer attachment, but typically I will use this attachment just to make it not quite as wet. You don't really want to heat style like sopping wet hair. But next, what I'm going to do, and I always make sure to do this, is I am going to use the smoothing brush attachment. So this brush is meant to like really give your hair some good shine. By the way, if you are annoyed by hairy brushes, then maybe this is not the tutorial for you. And this does a really, really good job of just smoothing out the hair. So now that I'm not dealing with a lot of excess shedding, I can do this step and feel okay with it. But this specifically is really good, and I like to kind of concentrate this towards the roots. So this is going to make sure that we have like a really smooth root situation at the top, and then we'll worry about the volume later. So here we go. I'm using like the full power setting right now. If you really want to get a super smooth effect at the roots, you really want to make sure that there's a little bit of tension. That little bit of tension is really going to help make everything glide and really add that silky look. Okay, now you can see that the roots are super, super smooth. And just because I'm prone to frizziness, that's why I like to do this step first. And then at the end, I can also do that if I feel like I need to. But now I'm going to section off the hair. So you can use hair clips, just use like whatever you have. Honestly, hair clips will help, you know, not add a bend to the hair. But I'm going to be using some silk scrunchies. They're really just like what I always have on hand. And I know this might be kind of, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, but I really don't like the feeling of my hair getting caught in a clip. So I like to just do it like this because I know that it's extra gentle. Okay, and now we have the bottom layer. You can see I like to just make sure if there's any little knots that I take care of that with my fingers. And now I kind of go two different ways depending on what I'm feeling. So sometimes I will just use the round brush attachment and give myself a really silky, smooth sort of blowout. And other times, like I was mentioning before, I'll just use the curler and then I'll kind of incorporate the round brush. Like I kind of like to use both of these. So I think today I'm just going to show you what I've been doing lately, or this is like the most kind of common way that I get a very successful blowout, if that makes sense. And this way kind of takes a little bit longer than like my everyday kind of blowout, but I'm happy to like do some follow-up tutorials for you guys and just kind of share with you how I have made the Airwrap work for me and how I'm doing everything now. So I'll take my first section, I always like to kind of use my fingers to go through any knots just to make sure everything is smooth. I'm first going to use the long attachment and do some general curls. When you switch onto the other side, make sure that you also switch your attachment. If you've never seen someone use an Airwrap, this might look kind of weird, but you always like to start at the bottom of your hair, kind of do like this, and it'll end up kind of start picking up and wrapping around itself. You don't need to necessarily wrap your hair around. However, if you're in a time crunch, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I know that's not like the correct way to do it, but I've done it and gotten the same result. So here you go. I'll show you guys. See how it catches? And then you can just slide the hair up. And you just let it sit until it's dry. By the way, I really like that this isn't insanely loud. Like if you get sensory overload by like very loud vacuums or very loud blow dryers, etc., Dyson is much more quiet. And also my vacuum from Dyson, I'll leave it down below, is like one of my best purchases I've made for this house. Okay, anyway. Okay, I apologize if you can hear my dogs barking. And there is the first curl. Now, you don't want to mess with it. Don't be going and brushing it out or anything like that. We want to just kind of maintain the way it is right now. And notice here that I'm dealing with some pretty big chunks of hair. Because I'm not going for a super curly look, I think that you can get away with using larger pieces of hair. And that's another reason why I really like the long barrel attachment. All right, and now it is all dry. Again, just leave that curl there. By the way, I keep looking at the Amika shampoo and conditioner, and I realized I forgot to mention, I wanted to pull those out and let you guys know that I've used the Olaplex conditioner and shampoo, and honestly, I don't really see much of a difference between the one from Amika or Olaplex. I think they're both good. You can save a little bit of money with the ones from Amika. That piece didn't take too long because it is a bit shorter, or not as thick as the other pieces. I wanted to mention my hair type. So I have thicker hair. It is a little bit coarse, but in general, it's just in general a bit thick, and I don't color treat my hair. I do get questions about my hair color. All right, I'm gonna do this side and then we'll be ready for the next section. Two things. I realized that I definitely had everything bagel seasoning in my teeth for the majority of when I was just filming. So I hope you guys couldn't see that. And next I wanted to mention that if you really want to make these curls last, make sure that you cool shoot them. You can just adjust the dial over here, and before you take out the curl, make sure that it's completely dry. Not too worried about that with this look. It will make it last longer. And I also wanted to show you guys how I take out the curl again. I always like to bring it upwards and then let it sit like that rather than uncurling it. So first section is done. Now we're going to move on into the second section. A little bun up there. And yeah, let's talk about what I do next. So you can see I have a lot more hair in this section. And I like to kind of get a lot of this in the back as well in this section and focus more on the volume in this section. So I like to keep this section pretty light. So next I will switch out the barrel and I'm going with the opposite side for the next section, and that's just gonna really create a lot of pretty volume. So if it was going to the right, make sure it's going to the left for this next section. All right, the next section has been completed. By the way, I really need a haircut. Did I mention that? I like am becoming more and more aware, especially when we get to my bangs, how much I freaking need a haircut. All right, this is the last section. Oh, this is always my favorite section to do. And with this section, I just like to make sure that the curls are going outwards like this. And I also do not curl my bang pieces. I leave those alone. And I'll show you what I do with those in a second. Again, switching out the barrel here. Okay, you guys, here we are. So we are looking like a knockoff American Girl doll. Next step, I'm going to just loosen the curls with my fingers and a little bit of the Gisou hair oil. As far as hair product recommendations, other than the Dyson obviously, the Gisou hair oil is really, really beautiful. And I have just been absolutely enjoying it. I just got like the mini size to try it out. And I know that once I go through it, I will definitely repurchase it. But I feel like it's gonna take a while to go through this because you don't need much. It is very thick, but it almost has a touch of like a slippy gel kind of thing going on. I don't even know how to really describe it. But yeah, just take it through and loosen up those curls. You can see a lot of bounciness. It's just such a bouncy, full volume, but this to me isn't really like blowout curls. So what I will now do is I go in and perfect with the round brush. So I'm again going to be using the round brush to get more of a swept back kind of look now. So let me show you what I'll do. I don't really focus the round brush too much on the bottom layer of the hair. I focus more on the top because on the bottom I really want that volume. I don't necessarily need like that blown out smoothness, if that makes sense. So let me give you an example of what I'll do. I'll go in, get a curly little piece there. Let me show you. I'll do high heat. And then wrap it up this way. I don't really keep it on there for too long because we don't need to necessarily do that. And look at that. You get the bounce from that curl, but it just adds this gorgeous kind of blown out smoothness. Now let me do some more strands and I will keep on showing you. I'm way less precise with this part. I just kind of do what feels good to me. And I love, one of the main reasons I bought the Dyson Airwrap is that you need literally one hand to do this. I know I'm using two to get the curl on, but it's just way easier than doing a blow dryer and the round brush at the same time. And you see the difference of the curl? It is much smoother and more of that beautiful bouncy wave. Now, I personally find that this is how I get the longest lasting blowout look when I do the curl in combination with the round brush, rather than just doing the curl, rather than just doing the round brush. I find that this gives me the longest lasting blowout look, and I like the effect the most, I would say. I just can't stop thinking about, I can't believe I had that everything bagel seasoning in my teeth. I know better than that. But yeah, do you see that curl? Ooh, I like that. This one will be a really good example for you guys. You see how this has a really nice bounce to it? It's a nice curl, but watch what happens when you go through it with the round brush. See that? It's just that more swooped, blown out kind of look. I mean, definitely need to go in to this bang piece. So I like to take a more bang, even a little bit of not bang, just so everything kind of looks a little bit more cohesive. I find that that can help. But this is when I will take the round brush and do like a first pass over. I will curl both at the same time and go up a bit, and I'll show you that in a second. But this is what I'll do for the first pass. So you see how I just kind of went through it? I didn't really do too much of a curl. For this first pass, that's all I want to do. You can see, like these are bangs. They're not even really bangs anymore. Pretty curly, but more of that blown out bouncy look. This is way more of that voluminous curled look. All right, I'm gonna do the other side and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, so that is what it looks like when you go through and do a little round brushing, and I just find this way easier. I think that it gives you more volume long term than just using a round brush. So now I'm going to show you how I would add just a little bit more volume in a couple of places. So first is, if you want to go back into the crown of your head, you can pick up a piece. You can go as really big as you want with this, you know, if you can't tell already that I'm not super precise. And go back kind of pull the piece to the front, and you're gonna curl under this and then swoop it back. And let me just show you first, because I feel like sometimes it's easier to see it, and then I can go and explain it again. So this is actually a pretty big piece. I think I'm gonna take two and do this twice for you guys. So let me show you first this one. And look at that. Woo! It brings the volume. Super noticeable right in the back, which I find that that area can lose volume first. So I'll do it one more time for you guys. Again, just pulling it forward. You're gonna go under. Go. Now we're almost there, you guys. What I like to do now is go ahead and do the bangs. So I take those bang pieces, or what once was bang pieces. I really gotta get a freaking haircut. And you can kind of leave some of these pieces behind, but then, you know, like go back for them. That's what I kind of like to do. Now, I'm gonna take the main bang pieces, pull them together, then we're gonna curl these upwards just the same way that we did with the crown of the head. Oh my gosh. I just had an eyelash sitting on my pants and I thought it was a spider. Okay. Then I just like to uncurl it, and then right at the end, I just move it all the way back, and then I let it fall forward. You see how that gave it smoothness and volume, and I like a little bit more of that volumized look at the front of my hair. You can see that we have some of these like front pieces that you can kind of mess with. I like to do this. So like this piece, for example, I think that this one could be not quite as defined, a little bit smoother. So let me quickly do that piece. Much better. I kind of noticed towards the end any of the pieces that seem kind of like out of place or like too curled, and then I'll go back and just kind of focus on those. And see how much I'm taking at this point? Sometimes I'll do this too. Let me show you. You don't have to do like the full-on round brush moment. You can kind of just like finesse it a little bit. Watch. See that? So in effect, you're kind of blow drying and round brushing at the same time, those pieces. Like you're kind of brushing out the curls a little bit. I already added my hair oil. This is how I create my blowout at home using the Dyson Airwrap. I know everyone kind of has their own thing. This is what I find gives me the longest lasting curl. I also find it to be really easy. I find it to not be painful to do, you know what I mean? You know, now you could go in with a little bit of hairspray. Honestly, I don't really like most hairsprays. If you guys have a super uber touchable hairspray, feel free to let me know down below. But I love a soft feeling in my hair, so I don't really do any hairspray on the regular. But yeah, here it is. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, of course, let me know, and I will see you in my next one.